Hello everyone, my name is Thắng and this is my cute girlfriend and she's not really that cute.
I have a new haircut.
And welcome to our first video where it's called An and Thang Talks Get Out. Okay, the reason why we want to make this video is because we're so bored, and if we don't do anything we'll get depressed and die.
I know if I go, I'll die happy tonight.
Don't worry, honey. Another thing is that we really love watching movies. So last month, I think we had the chance to watch this movie called Get Out, and it was amazing. However, it didn't have enough credibility like the movies Chưa, and we don't know why. So we was pretty frustrated.
That's why we want to make this video so we can have a chance to analyze the plot and maybe give you some of our comments on the movie.
Highly recommend it for anyone who hasn't watched this movie. It will change your life.
In a bad way. So, some basic information about this movie. It was directed by Jordan Peele.
I said, bitch.
Fun fact about him, is very funny. He's a very famous comedian. It's pretty messed up, but we'll talk about how a comedian ends up directing a psychological thriller later on. So, like I said, it's a psychological thriller, like it messes with your brain. So, is it scary? Yes, right? But it's not like The Conjuring scary, like it doesn't jump scare you. Even Anne can watch it.
I didn't close my eye for a bit.
But beware that it can really change, like twist your mind and change the way you see people. So, without further ado, here's Anne explaining the plot of the movie. Why is she doing this? Because she explains stuff like a baby. So I'll challenge her to explain the plot of the movie in under 1 minute. Here we go.
Fuck you, Thắng. So the movie is about a modern couple, Chris and Rose. Chris is black and Rose is white, but Rose loves him anyway. Rose invited Chris to her parents' house in the suburbs. At first, Chris is like a little concerned, but he's like, yeah, okay, what's happening there? At first, the family seemed to be very nice and welcoming Chris, but later on in the movie, a lot of weird things happen and it gets creepier and creepier. Finally, Chris found out something really disturbing about his family and reveals the truth that he could never imagine. I'm done.
I did not see that coming. Okay, this is the part where we say spoiler alert, guys. Next, we'll break down the movies and analyze some of the facts about this movie to show you how awesome this movie is.
So if you haven't watched the movies, then pause this video and go watch it in some mấy trang đo phim lậu, giống phim mới trong net.
So first, let's talk about the hidden beauties of Get Out that some of you might have missed during the watching of this movie. First is the brilliant performance of the two leads, especially the male leads played by Daniel Kaluuya. As the character of Chris Washington, he excels at depicting the character development of a very young and aspiring African American man who seems to have no trouble adapting to the underlying racisms that we're living in today. He's very concerned about the fact that he's dating a white girl and whether her parents, a symbol of the old generation, will accept him or not. At this point, we'll agree, this guy's smart, right? He knows his place and he has a certain aura that instantly connects with me. But as the story progresses and weird behavior like this happen.
He seems to be trapped in his own preconceptions, or rather the liberal illusions that Rose has drawn for him.
I would have voted for Obama for a third term if I could. Best president in my lifetime, hands down.
He's so deep in the belief that the world's progressing so fast that there's no such crazy thing as whatever that is. And Daniel excels as the role, portraying a man with a broken past, finding himself in a tricky position where everything he believes in has to be tested.
And don't get me started on that bitch Rose.
Whoa.
It means it's just, I don't know what to say. I have so much faith in that girl, you know? And then it turns out she's the biggest villain in the whole movie.
Where are those keys, Rose?
You know I can't give you the keys, right, babe?
My gosh, she's
Why?
the biggest villain, yeah. And then,
do you know how hard it is to trick the viewers, which is the people that has the best vantage point of the movie?
she nails it, man, right? Hands down to Alison Williams.
I hate her.
Another awesome thing that not many people might notice while watching this movie is the way the story is told. To me, the best kind of thriller is the kind of movie that can trick you into believing that the world in the movie is very normal, it's quite normal, until it's not.
We will all believe that Nick Dunn is a dick. Quite a big asshole, really, until we hear the voice of Amy and her evil scheme to get even. Same way in this movie, we were all led to believe that the world we are living in and the world of Chris and Rose is a place where social progress has taken over.
This narrative is a stark reminder of our modern society. It fools you by making you feel safe and secure that you've almost forgot the fact that only 60 years ago, African Americans still had to go to a colored toilet. It's naive to think that with a black president, the US has gotten over racism. No, it hasn't. It's still around, waiting for a spark to take over again.
I am the least racist person.
You mean an orange spark?
Oh wait, it has.
So the next part we're gonna talk about how the movie is mind-blowing. Instead of trying so hard with cheesy horror music and a lame surprise attack, the directors relies on the unknown factor to draw you in. In the beginning of the movie, you will constantly ask yourself, what is happening? Why is that person act like that? Why?
And throughout the movie, it just starts answering all of the questions being, breadcrumbs at the beginning of the movie. And to me, that is just incredibly satisfying to watch.
Clues to the outcome are spread from the first few seconds, but it takes an entire movie to pull every hint together.
And then it just blows our mind with this incredible torture chamber scene. Everything's revealed in a creepy commercial on an old-fashioned television. The casualness of Grandpa Armitage adds more to the horror we feel, not less. Like it's just a surgery, basically. Like a tiny weeny surgery that only rich and powerful people can have to live forever.
And be immortal. Some of the clues that left us wondering what the fuck does that mean are: first, why is that black dude Logan acts nothing like a black dude? Why his clothes so weird? And why he talks like an old man?
Because he's not really the black dude. He's Andre from the beginning of the movie, controlled by the husband of that old lady.
2. Why is the maid keep looking out the window and keep staring at herself in the mirror?
You're not following the pattern, right? She's not really the maid, she's the grandma of the family, and she's checking out her new body and scars and stuff.
3. Why is the gardener keep running out at night?
Because again, that's not really the gardener, that's the grandpa controlling the black man's body, and he's very obsessed with the loss to a black man a very long time ago, so it's just coming out practicing at night.
4. Why all the questions from the relatives are so mean and racist and weird?
Because they're not really relatives, they are the customer coming to check out Chris's bodies. But in this crazy mess of a movie, there's just one character who stole our heart, and he is...
Can I get in trouble for patting down an old lady? It's standard procedure. Gary just thinks an elderly bitch is elderly. She can't hijack no motherfucking plane.
Rod!
I love Rod. Maybe more than you. So do you guys notice that in the whole movie with all the creepy stuff and people acting so weird, there's this cute Ross who always make dumb jokes and fooling around and making us laugh?
Yeah, at first I thought it was just a comic relief, but turns out he's more than that.
Yeah, he's turned out to be the only one to discover the truth and save his bestie.
When Chris sent Rod the photo of Logan standing next to an old lady, he immediately yelled, "Sex slave!" And we were like, oh, you silly Rod. But as the movie develops and it's revealed that Logan's actually a sex slave, we were like, oh, hey Rod, you genius. And there's this other scene where the director suddenly implies how other people in the movie as well as in real life will probably see Rod.
Look, what I'm about to tell you gonna sound crazy.
As a crazy, paranoia, typical black dude. That's the scene where he comes to the police and tell them about what he has discovered, only to find that he's the center of their laughter.
Well, actually, he's telling the truth.
Yeah. Give him compliments. I said give him compliments.
Give me compliments. I said give me compliments.
And this is a true story. After we stepped out of the cinema that day, after watching Get Out, we were different people. We see the world differently. First,
if we ever see anyone acting kind of weird and hypnotized-ish, we're gonna flash them and see if there's any blood coming out of the nose.
because there might be a little black man trapped in there somewhere. And secondly, I never thought that I came out of the movie and got really scared of spoon and teapot. But I don't want to sink into the ground. And finally, we'll start to take our joke more seriously now, because there's a very big chance that it might be true. We never know it.
And this is the end of our video, guys. Thank you so much to suffer with us to the last minutes. If you think we're okay and not so lame, then give us a thumbs up and comment down below what other movies you want us to do next, or any other activities you want us to do in the video.
Until next time, goodbye.
Yeah.